Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the third episode of Fashion Icons of History. In today's episode we are discovering the fashion legacy of none other than Audrey Hepburn. We will examine the components of her style, her influential partnerships with designers, and what makes her style so timeless and appealing. Hepburn's style has left an indelible mark on the fashion world, embodying a timeless elegance and simplicity. Her collaboration with Givenchy, her unique style, and her relatable persona have solidified her place as a lasting icon. Hepburn's debut movie, Roman Holidays, showcased her style, which was further refined by her collaboration with the costume designer Edith. However, her iconic style wasn't established until her collaboration with Givenchy in the movie Sabrina. Audrey Hepburn's first encounter with Hubert de Givenchy is a pivotal moment in fashion history. She needed a wardrobe for her character in Sabrina, who was the daughter of a chauffeur and transformed into a sophisticated Parisian lady. Paramount Pictures' renowned costume designer Edith was initially tasked with all the costumes of this movie, and Head was a successful costume designer with multiple Academy Awards to her name and had previously worked with Audrey Hepburn in the set of Roman Holidays, her debut movie, which happens to be my favorite movie of Audrey Hepburn because I live in Rome. As Audrey Hepburn herself admitted, Edith taught her a great deal on how to dress her body on the set of Roman Holidays. Edith in this movie Sabrina was initially supposed to create all of the costumes. However, the director Billy Wilder wanted to have real French clothes for the transformation outfits, so Edith reluctantly accepted to create only the humble beginnings of Sabrina's character, Audrey Hepburn's character Sabrina, and created the pre-transformation outfits only. Interestingly, the iconic collaboration between Givenchy and Audrey Hepburn might never have happened if not for a twist of fate. Audrey Hepburn was initially sent to Cristobal Balenciaga for the costumes. However, he was very established at the time in the fashion industry and very busy preparing his next collection, so he referred her to his young protégé, Hubert de Givenchy. Givenchy, only 26 years old at the time, was a new name relatively in the fashion scene and was also very occupied with his upcoming collection. When Givenchy was told that he would be meeting a Miss Hepburn, he initially mistook her for Catherine Hepburn, who was the more famous Hepburn at the time. She had a more established name, had been in the industry for longer. However, upon meeting Audrey Hepburn, he was immediately charmed and invited her to take a look at his previous collections. Audrey Hepburn chose 3 outfits that would become iconic. The first of them was the turban with the suit, the second one was a glamorous black cocktail gown, and the third was a white gown with black embroidery. These selections perfectly suited her character's transformation and showcased Givenchy's exquisite craftsmanship. Their collaboration was an instant success, marking the beginning of a lifelong friendship and professional relationship. Hepburn famously said, "His clothes are the only ones in which I am myself, and I depend on Givenchy the same way American women depend on their psychiatrists." Their partnership not only enhanced her on-screen persona, but also solidified Givenchy's reputation as a designer. The outfits chosen from Givenchy's collection for Sabrina became some of the most memorable in cinematic fashion history. In my opinion, one of the most unique and interesting aspects of Audrey Hepburn's style was her incorporation of beatnik fashion into her wardrobe. Beatnik style was characterized by its simplicity and rejection of mainstream trends, and often included striped shirts, turtlenecks, cigarette pants, and jeans. I find this aspect of Audrey Hepburn's style so fascinating because beatnik fashion was the alternative edgy style of the 1950s, so someone as elegant as Audrey Hepburn incorporating this style into her wardrobe, to me, is so fun to hear about. Hepburn's role in Funny Face in 1957 showcased these elements with her character Jo Stockton wearing black turtlenecks and slim pants and jeans, epitomizing beatnik chic. Beatnik Style embraced a sense of casual elegance and intellectual rebellion, which aligned really well with Audrey Hepburn's fashion sensibilities. This style favored minimalistic, streamlined silhouettes, which were a hallmark of Hepburn's wardrobe. Audrey Hepburn loved a figure with a cinched waist, so incorporated these belted looks into her style. She would add this touch of femininity, but then balance it out with some masculine elements, which is very interesting. She would wear elements such as tailored blazers and penny loafers, which was a timeless move on her part. For her time, this was a very interesting move indeed, and that's what makes her style still relatable today when we're not dressing as feminine as the 1950s. Audrey Hepburn preferred simplicity and comfort in her clothing, often opting for monochromatic looks that added to her timeless allure. She believed that comfort and confidence was key to true style, so she really prioritized a comfortable, simpler look in most of her outfits, even though she did have her crazy moments. For these reasons, her style was really a less is more philosophy, and she really prioritized accessibility as well. She wanted the women who watched her movies and saw pictures of her even in real life to feel like they could recreate the Audrey Hepburn look easily with clothes that they could easily access to, unlike other Hollywood stars such as Marilyn Monroe, who wore these glamorous looks that were harder to imitate. And I think that added to her image of approachability and relatability, which is one of her biggest selling points. Audrey Hepburn's love for ballet influenced her fashion choices, particularly her love for ballet flats. This choice really distinguished her from the high-heeled Hollywood stars of her time. One of the other reasons for this choice was that she was very tall and didn't want to tower over people, because she was quite a down-to-earth person. Another distinctive element of her style was also her love of pants, which made her distinct from other Hollywood stars. She loved to wear these cropped pants, often referred to as petal pushers at the time. Audrey Hepburn loved to add special twists to her outfits and often preferred to play with shapes and silhouettes. She also really valued perfect tailoring, so she had these perfectly tailored outfits with for example, oversized sunglasses that were one of her staples, and sometimes large hats or different shapes and sizes to add some sculptural elements to her outfits. She preferred to wear a little more natural makeup and a little less over-the-top jewelry compared to other Hollywood stars of her time, because she thought it looked off on her. Perhaps one of her most recognizable, iconic, and emulated looks of all time was the little black dress she wore, designed by Givenchy for the opening scene of Breakfast at Tiffany's. She wore it with oversized sunglasses and a string of pearls. Very iconic, very elegant, and it epitomizes this Audrey look that she's known for. Interestingly, back then, the ideal body type being a bit more on the curvy side, she was very insecure about her collarbones, which is why the dress has this higher cut to hide her collarbones. Audrey Hepburn's makeup looks were either very natural or had these eyeliners with a bold red lip. I think because she has these very sharp, striking features, she didn't want to overdo her makeup. In fact, she said that she would feel like her face was a mask when she wore too much makeup. Audrey Hepburn believed that elegance is the only beauty that never fades, and I think she was right. This is very visible through her wardrobe choices, which are even today really easy to emulate, and we can totally go out dressed like Audrey Hepburn without getting weird looks. One of the reasons that Audrey Hepburn was so relatable to the women of her time was her slender body type, which is interesting because today we are trying to see less of that and more of what we consider realistic is curvier people. But back then, the ideal body type was the curvy, Marilyn Monroe-esque body type, and women felt this was unattainable at times. Women saw themselves in Hepburn, appreciating her slender figure and modest demeanor, especially, I believe. Her approachable and humble aura, both on and off the screen, made her a relatable and aspirational figure. Hepburn's on-screen characters often portrayed adventurous and sweet personalities, further endearing her to audiences. Her style was accessible due to its simplicity in cut and color, less over-the-top jewelry, and more natural hairstyles. This consistency in her on-screen and off-screen style brought high fashion down to earth. Audrey Hepburn's slender figure was partly due to her trauma from the World War II, which rendered her very skinny, and In most of her movies, she has this Cinderella transformation where she goes from rags to riches, and this is sort of what happened to her in real life too. She had these humble beginnings, war trauma, and went through all of that and then turned into this glamorous Hollywood star. Audrey Hepburn at some point quit acting to be with her children. In fact, she had a big love for children and she did a lot of work for UNICEF. And during that time, she couldn't afford Givenchy anymore, so she was introduced to new designers like Ralph Lauren and Valentino. She appreciated Valentino for evening wear, but she really liked the sportswear of Ralph Lauren, stating, "I love Givenchy for night, but I love your sports clothes for daytime." I would consider Audrey Hepburn's style as timeless, accessible, understated, elegant, and definitely very unique. She did her own thing. She wasn't afraid of experimenting, adding a few personal touches and different elements, even menswear, into her wardrobe, which is what makes her style so timeless, even modern. In my opinion, what makes Audrey Hepburn's style so inspiring is that she wanted to be accessible. She wanted her style to not be above anyone else's, but simply perfect for her body type. She in fact really prioritized good fit, high quality, simplicity, and stuck to the things that worked for her, whilst not being afraid of really experimenting with her style, incorporating elements that could have been considered a little bit taboo, a little bit risque for her time, such as menswear, pants, Beatnik style like we mentioned. I like that she was really expressing herself, her individuality, and speaking for her own body type at the same time without really trying to change herself and mold herself into the body ideals and fashion ideals of her time. And I think that's what makes her really timeless, and her style can be considered modern even today. We have a lot to learn from her style, and I really hope that you enjoyed this exploration of her sense of fashion. If you liked this video, please remember to give it a like, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to my channel for more videos on fashion. On my channel we do all about everything on fashion: sewing, fashion history, contemporary fashion, ready-made garments, literally everything on fashion you can find on my channel. And if you want more episodes of this Fashion Icons of History series, there will be one each month, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!